Hey guys, today we are talking about 3 mistakes that you are making on your website. Well, I hope you're not making them, but if you are, I've got you covered. So I've been designing for about a decade, but I've been building websites for about 8 years, and I've kind of seen it all. I've seen kind of the really strange and awkward websites, and I've also seen the really incredible, highly converting websites. And kind of everything in between. And I tend to see the same kind of mistakes happen over and over again. And so I wanted to share a few of them with you. I could go on and talk about website stuff forever, but I wanted to share a few of them with you today and some tips on how to really make your website even more conversion friendly. So first, I think it's important to mention that most people jump into their web design really eager and excited about the visuals. And I get it. I'm a designer. I love to design the logo. I love to choose all the brand colors, the fonts, the imagery, all of that good stuff. But it's extremely important to know that your website could look really awesome and be insanely beautiful, but totally miss the mark. And by the mark, I meaning, attracting your customer, helping them understand what you do quickly and how you're different, and leading them to the buy button. So really beautiful design is great, but even better is actually making the sales, or whatever the goal of your website is. That should be the main thing. So if you want to build a website that really works for you and really converts your clients or your customers into your clients, you have to start by thinking about your goals. And that, of course, you can bring in the visual aesthetic later, but you have to think about what your audience needs and how to speak to them and how to give them all of that information that they need to really make the buying decision that you want them to make. So when your customer lands on your website, they're usually asking themselves a few different questions. Who is this business? What do they do? How will their products and services make my life or my business better? And then what's the next step? So how can they take that next step to work with you? And a lot of times people will come to us and they're like, oh, my website is just feeling a little bit flat, or it's really not attracting my ideal client, or it's just not converting those customers into the clients or making the sales that they want. It's typically because they haven't thought through those questions and how they're leading their customer through their website. So if you want to create that website that really resonates with your customer, you have to kind of paint that picture from the homepage on through your website, and really, just really think through all of the content on your website, from your logo and your visuals to your copy and your offerings and your contact page, all of those important things. So let's dive into a couple mistakes that I see a lot of entrepreneurs making. So the first one, it kind of really just goes with everything we were just talking about, but it's really important to focus on your person. So your website is not a digital billboard for how great you are and how amazing your business is. It's great to share those credibility pieces about your business. It's also really great to share your brand story, like that core story or that foundational story behind your brand. This is how we came about. But there's a place and a time for that on your website, typically on the About page. Your customer, when they land on your website, they immediately want to know what's in it for them. So how can you serve them? How can you help them reach their goals? And yeah, they really need to feel that you care about them right away. And let me just give you an example to kind of paint the picture even more for you. So if you were looking to hire a social media team, I don't know, you're looking to hire some type of marketing or social media team, and you had 2 referrals from a friend, and you went to one website and you started kind of scrolling down the homepage, and you're skimming through all the text, and it kind of goes from like section to section, and it says, first section is like, we're great, this is what we do, this is who we worked with, etc. And the second section has, this is our story, this is how we came about, this is what we do best. And then the third section is, work with us. I mean, that's fine. You might be reading through that like, okay, yeah, they might be a great fit. But If you open the other website, kind of on the flip side of that, and you kind of start skimming through that copy on their website, and again, you go through those same sections, and they're speaking to you as the customer. They're saying, we work with entrepreneurs like you to help them level up in all of these ways. And then that second section goes into not their story, but your story as the customer. Like, we see you over there struggling with X, Y, and Z, and we want to help your life be better by da 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 da. Like, really leaning into their customer's journey and how they can help them. And then that last section, instead of like work with us, maybe it's really just focused on, like, here are the ways that we can help you. We can help you stay consistent. We can help you boost your engagement. We can help you make more money with ads or whatever it is. That really speaks to your pain point and the solution that they can provide. So obviously that second website is going to connect with you as a customer in a deeper way because they're speaking directly to you. So if you have a website that is really focused on your business solely, I recommend going through it and looking through all of the copy and seeing if you can make a shift from focusing on highlighting everything in your business, especially, like I said, on that homepage, to focusing on your customer and what they need, how you need to speak to them on that homepage. It will really build that connection right away. So it's a pretty small copy shift that I can guarantee will make a really big impact on your audience and on your conversions. So mistake number 2 is that people are really confused when they land on your website. I see so many websites that don't use their homepage, and especially that first header section on their homepage. Just to be clear, I'm talking about, when you open up a website, that first section that you see before you even start scrolling down, that's what I'm talking about. It's like that header section. And I see so many websites that have like a pretty vague standalone image or kind of sentence or something at the top of their page. I don't know what it is, but I think a lot of people have like sunset pictures or mountain pictures. And it's like, yeah, that's beautiful, but it tells me nothing about your business. Unless you're like a mountain guide or something like that, I would not use a picture of random scenery. So the picture is really important on that homepage. You really need something that speaks to your customer and helps paint that story for your business. So why is this such a fatal flaw? But like on your website, it's because that first section, that's like your money shot, like the most valuable real estate on your entire website, because it's the first thing that so many of your customers are going to see when they land on your site. And it only takes them, I think the stats, it keeps going down, but I think the last stats I looked at are like 2 seconds, maybe 3 seconds you only have that much time to capture the attention of your audience before you lose them, before they're like, oh, maybe I'm not in the right place, or I'll just go back to Instagram or whatever it is. So you really have to have that header section of your site be really strong and clearly define who you work with, why you do what you do, all that good stuff. So your homepage header should really do a lot in a very small window of time. So it should highlight, what you do and for whom, what really sets you apart, and how you can make your customers' life or business even better. Now you can do that with more than just copy. Let me just break down kind of my favorite layout for the homepage to start getting your wheels turning about how you might be able to tweak or finesse yours a little bit. So first, I do love using that image. I think that an image or like a silent little looping video or something on the homepage is really powerful in that top header, but it's really important that it's the right image. So don't post a picture of a mountain. It's about telling, like I said, that photo story. So how can you tell your customer really quickly, even subconsciously, what your brand is all about through an image? So if you're an artist, maybe it is you painting, like a picture of you painting in the background, or mixing paint or something like that. If you're a florist, maybe it's you building a bouquet. If you're an interior designer, maybe it's you sitting in a space, a really beautiful space that you designed, and kind of, standing to the side looking at the camera or something like that. But I do recommend having a person in the picture. It doesn't have to be necessarily your face, but it could be a hand or something like that. And it also, like, I know that sometimes you don't have those kind of brand images yet. You can buy a stock image with someone in it that looks like a faux client or might look like the back of your head or something like that. You can find stock images that fit that spot really well. But the point being is that you really have to think through what is going to tell my customer in a quick visual glance, what's going to help paint that picture of what I do. And again, even if, let me just give you an example because I think it's important to kind of make sure that you're really clear on this. If you're a florist and you post the picture you want to use is a picture of a bride holding one of your beautiful bouquets. It might be a gorgeous photo, but it's probably not the right image for that top header section of your website because it could come off as a little bit confusing to that customer. So if you only have 2 to 3 seconds to capture their attention and they see that image, they might have a little bit of a question mark over their head. Like, is this a wedding planner? Is this a wedding photographer? Do they only work with brides? Like, there might be some things going through their head, again, even at a subconscious level, and you just need it to be super clear. So you can use that picture elsewhere on your homepage, throughout your site, wherever you want to use it. But on that homepage section, it's really important, again, that tells a very distinct, clear story of what you do. So the image is the first piece. And then copy. So as far as copy, really think about your brand's message and again, what your customer needs to know. I don't like to use a ton of copy in that first section. So it's about really distilling the most important information down into a couple punchy sentences or even like little statements. And this isn't a place to get inspirational and like putting something vague on your header like we'll take you to the mountaintops over a mountain picture. No one is really going to understand that, and they're going to have to scroll down your page to figure out what it is that you do. So that's not very clear. You want to come up with a really short and impactful statement that that says what it is that you really help people do. For example, on our website, we have this kind of statement is elevate your brand. So really quickly, it gives you kind of a little bit of a peek at our personality, but it also tells you really clearly that we work with brands and we help people elevate them, right? Then I recommend having, if you want to have a little bit more, add a little bit more depth to make sure that your customer really knows that they're in the right spot, you can add a little sentence or maybe 2 at most that goes into explaining what you do for your client and who you work with. So again, on our website, I believe it says something like we offer brand strategy, business coaching, and design for the female entrepreneur. So again, it very clearly states what we do and who we do it for. So that will give your user or your reader like a really, really clear understanding of what you do really quickly. And then bonus points if you figure out, and this is totally dependent on your business, but I love being able to add a call to action at the top of the page. This doesn't work for every business, but I think it's a great way to help your user get to the next place really quickly. So if I landed on your website and I already know I kind of want to work with you, I want to be able to find a button to schedule a quick call or learn more about your services or whatever right up front on your page. And again, it doesn't work for everyone, but maybe, and I also see this a lot and we help our clients with opt-ins a lot. So even if it's not book a call right away, maybe up right above the fold is where, right when you start scrolling up, right at the bottom of that header of your section of your website, you have a little bit of an opt-in. So it's an opt-in is kind of a free gift or a guide or a video, whatever it is that you can offer your customer in exchange for their email. So you can have a little form right at the bottom of the header that says, opt in to learn X, Y, and Z, and they can enter their name, email. Okay. And then again, you don't have to have the call to action right up on top. You can have it in that next section down below. So if it doesn't work to have it in that primary header, you can have it in the next section with maybe a little bit more copy that explains, kind of your services or something like that. So there's some wiggle room there. So that really leads perfectly into our next mistake, which is not having enough call to actions. So I think that a lot of entrepreneurs are just afraid to be salesy. So they limit the number of buttons and links on their website. And I don't know, if you think about it from your audience's point of view, they are, and pay attention to next time you go to a website and kind of what you do and kind of what as you're going down the page, what you're looking for. I think that's really helpful. But your audience is coming to your website, and more than likely they're kind of skimming down the homepage, and they're kind of trying to digest the information pretty quickly. And so you want to give them the least amount of information as possible. Like, you want to distill down the things that they actually need to read, and you want to make it really easy to take that next step. So really easy button that leads them right from your homepage to your services, or a big button maybe at the very top of your website that goes straight to book a call. And again, every single business is different here, but it's just really thinking about your user's journey. And as they walk through the website, they might want to kind of take a detour. I'm like, okay, I've read enough. I'm ready to dive into this, or I'm ready to read more here. But you need to make sure that you have those jumping off points for your customer to go to the next thing. And let me give you another example. I was looking for a window cleaner a couple weeks ago, and I just Googled local window cleaners in our area. And as you would guess, a lot of them didn't have the best websites. Most of their websites looked like a random picture, some information, and then contact. So I'd have to call in and get, tell them what I'm looking for, etc. But then I opened up a website that had an image. I can't remember the copy, but it had a button right there, front and center, that said, get a quote. And so as a mom, as a business owner, that just made my life so much easier. I didn't have to get out time for a call really fast. I didn't have to kind of dissect all the information on their site. I could just click on get a quote, fill out a really short form, and then 2 days later in my inbox, I got an email from them with a custom quote for our house. So it was really easy and simple for me. And I think that a lot of websites are missing that. You have to think of ways that you can make it really easy for your customer to not only move through your website, but get to that buy button, right? I could go on and on about all the website stuff and tips and tricks and tools, but I'll stop there just to give you a little bit to kind of chew on and to go back to your website and to kind of critique and refine. But we definitely dive a lot deeper into a whole bunch of website goodness, and even just like copy, images, design, marketing, all that stuff inside the Legendary Brand Academy. I'm sure you've heard me talk about it the last couple days. The doors are officially open, and I'm really excited about this small group program. It's 8 weeks where we help you really build that powerful brand from the ground up. So from a foundational level, really figuring out your message, your story, your audience, and building up your brand on top of that. I would love to invite you to learn more at legendarybrandacademy.com. You can just go to our website as well. And yeah, if you have questions, or if you want to know more about that program, I'm here to answer your questions. We also do website critiques, which I love. So if you're just having a lot of problems with your website, or you're just trying to figure out what's working and what's not, also go to our website and check out our website critiques. I'd love to work with you in that way too.